My wife texted me at 9:17 p.m. late dinner with clients. Don't wait up. All caps like a billboard on the interstate. She had never texted me in all caps in the 10 years we were married. Lauren uses periods and emojis and little polite lies that sound like LinkedIn slogans. Late dinner with clients. Don't wait up. Read like something you'd send your assistant, not your husband. It read like a press release put out by a company already on fire. The garage smelled like gasoline and old leaves, and the faint sour of laundry we meant to take to Goodwill 3 months ago. We live in a decent cul-de-sac 30 minutes outside the city. Brick fronts, leased SUVs, everyone pretending they mow their own lawn. I stared at her text for maybe 2 seconds. Not long. Long enough to feel the temperature drop in my body. Long enough to understand why she had been all perfume and high energy all week. Long enough to know I had already lost something and hadn't known it was walking out of me. Then I typed back, "Enjoy the lobster. Tell Chris. I hope he washed my shirt." It took maybe 5 seconds to hit send. It took 2 more for my phone to start buzzing in my hand like it was having a seizure. Lauren was calling. I let it ring twice because I am petty when I'm scared. I answered on the 3rd ring. "Hey." Her voice came in tight and high, like it had been pulled through a knot. "What are you talking about, Evan?" She didn't say hi. She didn't laugh. She didn't do the coy what lobster babe thing. She went straight to panic. And that was the moment. Right there. Not the text. Not the late dinner. Not the change in perfume. It was that sound in her throat. That note. That was the sound of truth losing its balance. "What do you mean?" I said. Kept my voice level. Calm. Like I was leaning on the counter watching SportsCenter. "Who's Chris?" she said. Too fast. Too sharp. Then she tried to back it up. "I mean, what shirt are you even talking about? Why are you being weird right now? I'm literally at dinner with the team, Evan. This is embarrassing. I'm at the table." "Nice," I said. "Order something expensive. Clients love that." "Evan, seriously, what is this?" "I'm just saying hi to Chris," I said. "Tell him I said hey." "You are acting insane," she said, and on insane her voice cracked. "You can't teach that. You can't fake a crack like that. It shows up when your gut drops into your socks." "Drive safe," I said, and hung up. I sat there for about a minute in the van with the garage door cracked open and the night sliding in. I could hear the cicadas in the trees behind the fence. I could hear our neighbor's dog doing that sad half-bark thing dogs do when they've been left alone too long. My heart was going fast, but not shaking fast. More like engine idle fast. Smooth, controlled. I didn't cry. I didn't throw anything. I didn't call my best friend because I don't have a best friend you can call at 9:20 p.m. on a Tuesday. I have a kid, a mortgage, 12 open service contracts, and a wife who just gave herself away in one single panicked second. You want to know the truth of marriage, the part nobody puts on Instagram? You almost never catch them with lipstick on their collar. You don't walk in and find bodies in your bed. That is movie garbage. What you catch is tone. Microbeats, silence where there shouldn't be any, panic that shows up too fast. You catch them in the way they say who's Chris instead of what lobster. That was the moment I knew my wife was cheating on me. That was not the moment I decided to destroy her. That part came later. For now, I moved. I set my phone down on the van floor. I slid off the bumper, knees popping. I went to the small red case in the back left cabinet of the van. I keep spares for clients. I install security systems for houses, small businesses, schools that can't afford the fancy stuff. Cameras, motion sensors, backup generators, panic buttons. Nothing Hollywood, no spy toys. But you stay in a trade for over a decade, and you end up with inventory. I pulled out a tracker. People think trackers are illegal. They aren't, not like TV says. You can buy them off the shelf if you're rich and paranoid about your teenager speeding. I don't use them for clients unless they specifically sign. I mostly keep them because contractors lose their vans, or their vans get borrowed by cousins, and it's easier to ping it than file police paperwork. This one was thumb size, black plastic, magnetic back, internal battery that can run 2 weeks if it only pings movement, not live stream. I had 2 of them in the red case. I clicked one awake. Her car is a white Lexus RX 350 hybrid with tan leather and a stupid scented diffuser she clips to the vent and calls self-care. She called it a business expense because she drives partners to lunches. I call it, we're paying $900 a month so you can feel superior to other moms in the school pickup lane. She keeps it spotless. Light seats, no crumbs. That has always been her thing. Our family sedan smells like old fries and gym socks, but her Lexus is climate-controlled therapy. So I knew I couldn't toss the tracker in the glove box or under a mat. She'd find it. But modern cars have sweet spots. You work under enough bumpers, you know where the plastic shell comes down and the bare frame rails sit. I knew hers. I went quietly through the mudroom into the kitchen. The house was dim, except for the stove light. Our kid had gone down at 8:30 because 3rd grade is apparently hard labor now. His backpack was sitting open on the table, homework half out, pencil sideways like he'd just escaped a hostage situation. His name is Tyson. 8 years old, cleft in his chin, eyes too serious for his age. I took the spare key fob to Lauren's car out of the ceramic bowl by the fruit basket. The bowl says keys in big, dumb farmhouse letters. We ordered it in a decorating phase where Lauren wanted everything in the house to announce what it was. Keys, laundry, home. As if we would forget. I slipped back out to the garage. I hit the Lexus unlock so the alarm wouldn't chirp if I breathed on it. Then I crouched and slid down on my back on the cool concrete and shimmied myself under the rear bumper. I am not 22 anymore. You learn that quick when you're belly down under a car in your own garage at 9:30 at night holding your breath because humiliation is pulsing in your ears. The cement was cold on my shoulder blades, and I could smell the sweet dust of brake pad and that plasticky new car smell Lauren is obnoxiously proud of. There is a small cavity behind the back fascia where the bumper meets the wheel well. It's right above the rear axle arm. It's metal, not plastic. Steel lip, perfect for a magnet. I reached up blind with my left hand and felt until I found the smooth rail. I pressed the tracker in until I felt it catch. Click. That was it. 2 seconds. Tracker armed. No drama. No Mission Impossible soundtrack. Just one husband under one Lexus, making a choice. I started scooting out, boots squeaking on the concrete. My shoulder scraped. I got a smear of dirt on my left cheek and felt it and didn't wipe it because if Tyson woke up and walked in here and saw me on the floor under Mom's car, what would I tell him? That Daddy is checking her differential for safety. And that was when headlights washed over the driveway. Blue-white. Bright. A car turned into our cul-de-sac and rolled slow past our mailbox, then slowed more. I saw the light jump and flicker against the unfinished drywall of the garage like someone swinging a flashlight inside a tent. I froze. The Lexus rear bumper was inches from my nose. I could see my own breath bouncing back at me off the undercarriage. The other car swung into the empty spot at the curb 2 houses down and parked. I didn't have to see it to know the engine note. You hang around someone long enough, you know the way their car sounds. His had that smug low hum you only get when you're trying way too hard to not sound like you're trying. Mighty gray Audi S5. Plates from the county north of us, where they pretend they aren't the suburbs by putting estates in every neighborhood name. I could see the reflection of the Audi's running lights in an oil spot on my garage floor. Silence swallowed the street, just cicadas and my pulse. The Audi door opened. Heavy footfalls on asphalt, confident, gym shoe soft, not work boot hard. He walked up my driveway like he had done it before. He had. Last month, actually, when he helped me carry the backyard fire pit, and my wife laughed at his joke like he was Dave Chappelle with a 6-pack and a 401k. I watched his shoes pass 5 inches from my face. Soft black trainers, fresh white sole, no grass stains. He smelled like body spray a marketing team named Thunder or Ignite or some other nonsense. Chris, neighbor Chris Benton, 2 houses down, divorced, 40, real estate and consulting, which in this zip code means we don't ask. The guy who always has a guy. Need a roofer? I got a guy. Need a deal on tickets? I got a guy. Need help moving that couch? Bro, say less. He's the community handyman if the work is easy and there's a patio beer for him after. If the work is actual sweat, he suddenly has a knee thing. He'd been to our barbecues. He'd helped Lauren carry in groceries when I was late on a service call. He'd brought Tyson a birthday drone last year and set it up in the yard with him while Lauren watched like he was some kind of father of the year. He'd called me brother. Now Chris was here, at my house, at 9:30 at night, while my wife was in the city, with clients. He went to the front porch, knocked twice, light, polite. Our doorbell camera would have caught his face full frame. I thought about that. After a few seconds, I heard him mutter something like, "All right," under his breath. Then his footsteps came back down the path, across the driveway, past the Lexus, and down the sidewalk. He got back in his Audi. He sat there with the engine off, in the dark. Phone glow lit his face blue for a second. Then the glow went out. He didn't leave. He just sat. I lay there under my wife's car and let it happen. Let it burn a hole straight through whatever was left of naive in me. Oh, I thought. It's him. It's really him. You're the guy. And I knew, under that Lexus, cheek against the cold floor, that the rest of the week was going to get biblical. I slid out slow and quiet. I hit the Lexus lock and set the fob back in the keys bowl on my way through the kitchen. I washed the dirt off my face in the downstairs bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes were wide and flat. My jaw looked wrong. I looked like somebody else's mugshot. People will tell you that is where you confront. That is where you storm over to the Audi, rip open the door, drag the guy out by his shirt, scream on the lawn. That's not how you do it if you actually want to win. That's how you do it if you want cops and lawyers and your own kid crying and repeating things in court later. Winning looks like nothing. Winning looks like you don't move, so I didn't. I turned the garage light off. I closed the door from the mudroom. I left Chris out there in his car like a raccoon digging through my trash cans. I went upstairs. I checked Tyson, out cold, mouth open, Lego minifigure still clutched in his hand. He sleeps hard when he's had gym. I stood in his doorway and just watched him for a second. People say that when you watch your kids sleep, you feel peace. That's a lie. You feel fear. You feel how breakable everything is. You feel the math in your head of what would happen if it got taken from you. For the first time since Lauren's text came in, I felt something that wasn't ice. It was hot, and it was not nice. I closed his door. I went to our bedroom. Our bedroom still smelled like her perfume from 2 hours ago. Ocean something. Expensive. I opened her vanity drawer. Second row, back left. She keeps an old portable hard drive in there because backing up her laptop to the cloud feels sketchy. She says it like I'm not literally the guy who sets up encrypted backups for other people for a living. She's scared of clouds. She trusts drawers. I took the drive. I sat on the floor next to the bed with my work laptop, plugged the drive in, and let it mirror to a folder. Not hacking, not breaking anything. We are married, community property. Half of what is hers is mine. Also, if you think your spouse can't open your laptop, you are either in denial or you have a prenup. And if you have a prenup, you already knew you were at war. While it copied, I scrolled our doorbell cam feed back 2 weeks, then 4. Our system keeps 30 days local because I installed it. I watched timestamps. I watched Lauren leave 3 separate nights in tops she doesn't wear around me. Tight black blazer that she says is for meetings. New lingerie under the blouse, lace dark blue. I definitely would remember that. She walked out at 8:40, 9:10, 9:25, always after a shower, always after perfume. She drove into the night. I clicked over to an app we use at work to test asset trackers. The little dot labeled Lex RX350 was already pinging on the map. I set up a geofence around our house, another one around downtown. The hard drive finished copying. I opened her private calendar. That was when I felt it move from personal to structural. Because here's what I saw. A shared Google Calendar, not visible to me before, labeled simply with a peach emoji and a lock icon. Cute. Appetizer of shame. Inside that calendar, repeating evening blocks with color code gray. Same downtown address each time. The blocks had names like Client Dinner and once, classy, Strategy Sync. On my birthday weekend last month, there was a 3-hour block on Saturday night. The title was just 2 emojis. Wine glass, fire. On my birthday. Last month she had told me she had a migraine. She'd said she was so sorry in that voice that makes men forgive anything. I'd told her it's fine. We can do the cabin some other time. She'd gone to bed at 8:30 with the blackout curtains drawn and silent sound machine on. I brought her water and kissed her forehead and told her, "It's okay, baby, get some rest." Then I sat downstairs by myself, watching a late game and convincing myself it's normal. Marriages have slow seasons. People get tired. While I was putting my own candles out, Lauren was drinking wine and lighting herself on fire with somebody else. I don't care how tough you think you are. That one you feel in your teeth. I closed the laptop. I sat there in the dark with my back against the side of our bed, and I did not cry. I didn't huff and puff. I didn't talk to myself. I just breathed in and out and let it settle like sediment in a jar until I could see through the water again. Then I made a plan. Not a movie plan. No crowbar trips to the loft, no screaming in the lobby. No public Facebook posts with "you're a liar" in paragraph form like a middle schooler. I made a real plan. Step 1, track her car, see where it's really going, get pattern. Step 2, confirm the other man. I thought I knew. I thought it was Chris. That felt nice and clean. Neighbor boy. Stupid Audi. Easy to hate. Easy to hit. Step 3. When I had proof and knew the players, I was going to take the board, flip it, and smash each piece under my boot. Not scream, not cry, not hit, not beg. Smash. That was the decision. Sitting on the carpet by our bed while my wife's calendar told me where she'd been instead of with me on my birthday. I texted her at 10:04. Love you. Drive safe. She didn't reply. That was day 1. While you're here, hit the hype button. Don't forget to subscribe and support this channel with a like. And tell us below, have you ever faced something like this? Day 2 started at 5:50 a.m., with Tyson shaking me awake because he couldn't find his soccer socks. Dad, 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 Dad. His face was hanging 6 inches above mine, like something from a haunted house. What? I said into the pillow. I have socks, but they're not the long ones. Those are for gym. Mom said it's gym today. Drawer. 3rd one. Blue stripes. Brush your teeth first. He nodded like a soldier and bolted. Lauren was already up. I could hear water running in the master bath and smell her citrus face wash. Our door was cracked. I could see her reflection in the vanity mirror. Hair up in a tight bun, already makeup on at 5:50 a.m. That's not normal. Normal Lauren at 6 a.m. is sweats, ponytail, no eye makeup, hoodie. This Lauren had contour and mascara and that nude lipstick that looks natural, meaning it cost $40 to pretend she was born with it. She caught me in the mirror. "Oh," she said, fake cheerful. "You're up early." I propped myself against the headboard. "Got a couple calls." "Oh." Her tone said, "Is this going to be a thing? Are you going to be weird?" She blew warm air on a little mirror and checked her eyeliner. You don't put on eyeliner like that for a client breakfast. "You get home late?" I said. She froze 1 beat too long, then went back to mascara like a robot. "What?" "No, I got home at I don't know, 11? You were asleep." "I called you at 9:20, I said. "You were at dinner." She stared at me in the vanity mirror. The room light was soft and warm. Her face looked perfect. My face looked puffy and 38, and like I maybe hadn't slept since 1998. Yeah, she said cautiously. We were at Bistro 42, it's loud, I told you that. You sounded nervous, I said. Because you're accusing me of something in the middle of dinner, Evan, she said. Her voice had sharp edges now. In front of my boss, it was humiliating. You can't just randomly… What even was that? Chris, what is that? I rubbed my eyes and let my head drop back against the wood. We good? I said. Silence. Lauren licked her lower lip, smoothed it. Are you serious right now? Are we good? I said again. Calm. No rise in my tone. If her heart rate spiked, it wasn't my voice doing it. She swallowed. I watched her throat move. There are moments in a marriage where you see your partner consult a flowchart in their head. Node A, deny. Node B, attack. Node C, cry. Node D, deflect. She was bouncing between nodes like a pinball. We are fine, she said finally, settling on D, deflect. She turned around and smiled at me, wide and bright and wrong. I love you. Just please, don't do jealous. It's not you. You're not that guy. It looks bad on you. That was good. That was a nice touch. She tried to shame me out of checking her. A lot of men fold there. A lot of men don't want to look like that guy, the insecure husband, the needy one. We swallow to protect pride, and in swallowing we give them room to keep going. I'm not jealous, I said. Her smile held, but her eyes flickered. Okay then. I'm documenting, I said. The smile died like someone pulled a plug out of her back. What? She said. Nothing, I said, and smiled up at her like she was sunshine. Drive safe. She stared one more second, then grabbed her tote and went downstairs. I showered quick, got Tyson fed, packed him lunch. I do that most mornings anyway. Lauren has mornings where she's the hero mom with star-shaped melon and little handwritten napkin notes. But most days, I'm the get your shoes, where are your shoes dad. It's fine. I'm good at systems. I like systems. On the way out the door, I accidentally left a men's t-shirt draped over one of the dining chairs. Not mine. A plain black crew neck, size large, athletic cut, does not fit me. I pulled it from the clean laundry basket in the guest room closet. We all have one of those baskets. Things that have been washed, maybe belong to someone, maybe are from when your cousin visited, maybe from when your wife borrowed something and forgot to give it back. This one I didn't recognize. It didn't smell like me. It smelled faintly like cologne I don't wear. When Lauren saw it, she actually stumbled. Whose is that? She said. I shrugged, casual, zipping Tyson's backpack. You tell me. You did laundry last. Her face went pale, then blotchy red, then pale again. She picked the shirt up between two fingers like it had thorns. You left this out on purpose. I mean, it was in our house, I said. So, figured it was ours. Evan, seriously, what are you doing? Tyson was stuffing a granola bar into his hoodie pocket. He looked up, confused. Can we go? He said. Yeah, bud, I said. I kissed Lauren on the cheek. She was too stiff. Love you. Big meetings today, right? Yeah, she said automatically. Get that shirt washed for me, I whispered in her ear. Her breath caught. We left. I dropped Tyson at school. I watched him run across the lot with his backpack bouncing and his hair sticking up like a dandelion. He didn't look back. That hurt and helped at the same time. You want your kid independent. You also want them to need you forever. You don't get both. As soon as he went inside, I opened the tracker app. Dot in motion on the highway, westbound toward downtown. I started my van. My van is a 12-year-old Ford Transit with a roof rack and magnetic signs on the side that say Hail Security Solutions and a phone number. It's dented, paint chipped, one headlight a little clouded. It is also invisible. Delivery vans are ghost cars. Nobody sees us until they need to complain that we're in the loading zone. I tailed her from 4 cars back. This is what following your wife looks like in real life. It's not some high-speed movie chase. It's patience. It's pretending you're on Bluetooth if anyone looks over, one hand on the wheel, eyes up, and not glued to her bumper, watching 3 cars ahead, not just her taillights. Because if you watch only her taillights, you rear-end somebody, and now you're in a police report. Lauren took the interstate toward downtown like she was going to her office. At exit 14, she stayed on instead of getting off. Okay. Sometimes she had off-site partner meetings. Could still be work, could still be client, could still be strategy sync. 3 more exits. She didn't signal until exit 18B. That ramp drops you into the old warehouse district, brick loft conversions, brew pubs, upmarket everything. Also short-term corporate apartments that rent by the week for executive stays and by the hour for what my father would just call trouble. She turned left on Lenox. She passed 3 paid garages and pulled into the 4th. The tracker dot stopped. My van rolled past. I didn't follow her in. You don't follow them in. Cameras, attendants, plates on file. You don't leave a digital trail unless you want one. Instead, I parked in a yellow-striped delivery zone half a block away. I popped my hood and leaned in like I was checking my battery. My phone was in my palm, angled at the garage entrance in selfie mode, camera on video, screen black. Anyone glancing would see a tired guy looking at his engine. 2 minutes later, she came out of the passenger entrance door to the garage. Keycard only. Not a pay stub. Not a pull ticket. Keycard. She walked fast the way guilty people pretend is just in a hurry. Black blazer I'd never seen before. Black leggings, sneakers, hair still in that tight bun. Sunglasses even though the alley was shaded. She went to a steel door set into the side of a refurbished brick building that used to be a textile mill and is now called the Foundry Lofts, like we live in a music video. She tapped another key card and slipped inside. Not a restaurant, not an office, not a client breakfast, an apartment. I watched the door close and felt something in me unspool and tighten at the same time. There it was, proof. You'd think I'd feel wrecked. I didn't. I felt steady. I felt like a carpenter looking at a stud wall and thinking, okay, now I know where to cut. I waited 5 minutes to be safe. Then I took a picture of the door. I took a picture of the keypad. I took a picture of the garage entrance, the posted rates, the security company sticker. If I ever had to describe this place to someone formal, I wanted dates and timestamps and images that were boring and plain and real. Judges don't like drama. Judges like details. At 8:46 a.m. exactly, I pulled away. By noon, I had already found out who pays for the loft. Here's how, and here's why it's real. You do not hack into the system. You don't need to. The world leaks for free when you know where to look. I Googled the building name and short-term rental license. Most cities require a permit for corporate rentals. The permit is public record. The record showed the unit was leased by a little LLC called Greenway Host Services. I looked up that LLC. The registered address was not downtown. It was 5 blocks from our subdivision. It was a 2-story house with a basketball hoop over the garage. Chris Benton's house. Audible click in my head. Neighbor Chris wasn't just, hey, I'm here to fix your fence. He was the name on the lease for the love nest, which meant the guy sitting outside my house last night while my wife lied to me had his name on the door to the place she snuck off to meet clients. That felt neat, felt satisfyingly symmetrical. I sat in the van in the parking lot behind a deli where I was supposed to be going in to fix a busted back door sensor and watched the Audi in my mind. I replayed him walking up my driveway last night. The same guy whose name was on the lease for the loft. Open and shut, right? Cheater identified. Okay, I said out loud in the van. My voice sounded flat and too calm in the space. Okay then, Chris. Chris doesn't get to sleep with my wife and play dad to my kid and park in front of my house like he's borrowing sugar. Chris gets disciplined. But not yet. Not until I was sure. Because here's something else you learn working security for small businesses and late-night shops. The obvious thief is not always the thief. The kid in the hoodie is not always the one skimming from the register. Sometimes it's the assistant manager with the neat hair and the ring on his finger. So I didn't go slash anyone's tires like an idiot. I went in and fixed the deli sensor like a professional. Then I pulled 3 weeks of my front porch cam footage and scrubbed it like a forensic tech. I watched Chris come to my house twice in the last 10 days while I was out on calls. He didn't stay long either time. 3 minutes the first, 5 the second. He carried things out both times. The first time it looked like a Trader Joe's bag. The second time, it was a little overnight duffel. Lauren held the door for him, smiled, kissed him on the cheek, fast, so fast you could miss it if you hadn't already had your stomach turned inside out. Kissed him. My wife kissed my neighbor on my porch while my son watched cartoons inside and I drove across town fixing someone else's security camera for $80. The rage that hit then wasn't hot. It was cold. It was surgical. I could feel it draw thin lines inside my chest, like blueprint lines. Do this, then this, then this. Step 1 became step 1B. Put Chris in a box he can't climb out of. That night, I sat at the end of the bar at a place called Rocco's, which is one of those bars that tries to be a sports bar and a steakhouse and a date night spot all at once, and ends up being chicken fingers, flat screens, and a bathroom that smells like bleach and denial. Chris texted me at 8:13. Yo, brother, you free to grab a beer tonight? Want to check on you. Lauren said you seemed stressed. Check on you. That right there is how a man tells you he's about to try to manage you. Sure, I typed back. He showed up at 8:27, wearing an expensive Henley shirt like guys on TV wear when they want you to notice their shoulders. He walked like the room already liked him. He clapped my shoulder on his way to the stool next to me. It took work not to flinch. Evan, my man, he said. Loud enough for the bartender to hear, so we looked like friends. Chris, I said. He ordered a beer like he lived there. He turned on the stool and studied me like I was a loose board on his deck. He was planning to fix with 2 screws and a smile. So, he said, lowering his voice. Lauren told me you two are going through a thing. Yeah, I said. She said you got, suspicious out of nowhere and it's making her sad, man, he said. Which, that's not you. You're not the jealous type. You're chill. That's one of the things I respect about you. That was cute. One of the things, I said. He smiled like we were sharing a secret. Look, I didn't want to say anything, but last night, man, you kind of freaked her out. That text? Tell Chris I hope he washed my shirt. He laughed. Fake easy. Like, what is that, dude? Shirt needed washing, I said. He blinked. I'm serious, I said, staring at him. If you're going to keep wearing my stuff over there, rinse it first. I'm sensitive. For a split second, he didn't get it. Then he did. I saw the flicker in his eyes, fight or flight. He chose smile. Okay, he said slowly, grin tightening. So, you're mad. I'm what? I said. Mad, he said. At me. Which I get, dude. I get it. But this doesn't have to be. I'm not mad, I said. I took a slow sip of my beer. I set it down. I leaned in, so he had to lean in too or lose ground. I kept my voice low. Listen close. I'm not mad. I'm documenting. What does that mean? He said. He laughed again. The laugh sounded like something breaking behind drywall. It means I'm going to rearrange your life, I said, real quiet. I want you to hear that from me first, so you don't think this is an accident later. I am going to take things you don't even realize are yours yet. And you're going to let me, because if you don't, I'll make sure every person on this street knows exactly what you've been doing on my porch while my kid is inside. Do you understand? He stared at me. His jaw clenched. Calm down, man, he said, because that's what men like Chris say when they feel control slipping. Seriously, let's not make this into a thing, okay? We're adults. He reached a hand toward my wrist. Not to grab, to pat. Control move. Settle down, buddy. I slapped his hand away. Not a punch, not a shove. Open palm, sharp, fast, loud. People at 2 nearby tables looked over. One guy at the bar lifted his head. Chris's eyes went wide. "You don't touch me," I said softly. "Dude," he hissed. "In fact," I said louder now, smiling big like we were just 2 friends joking around, "you don't come near my house again unless I invite you. You don't come near my wife again unless I'm there. And you absolutely do not come near my kid. You do any of those things, I am going to light you up so public you'll have to move. We clear?" "You can't talk to me like that," he said through his teeth. His face was red now, blotchy, anger and embarrassment fighting for space. "I just did," I said. He glanced around. He knew we were being watched. He lifted his beer and tried to make a show out of laughing it off, which looked pathetic and desperate instead of cool. Then he leaned in toward me, his lips barely moving. "Lauren isn't happy, Evan. She's done, man. She's already making moves. You need to be an adult about it. We can all be adults here. Don't make this messy. Don't make her choose ugly. It doesn't have to go like that." "Oh," I said. I smiled. "So you're the interim husband. Got it." "You need to calm down," he said again. "Tell you what," I said cheerfully. "Go outside. Check your passenger side." He frowned. "What?" "Go outside," I said, "and check your car. Tell me if it still looks expensive on that side." He stared, confused. "It's fine," I said. "I'll wait." He slid off the stool fast and walked out the front glass door. I watched through the bar window as he hit the unlock on his key fob, and the Audi's lights blinked. He rounded the nose of the car. He froze. The whole passenger side of his matte gray show-off Audi now had one long, slow, surgical trench from headlight to taillight. Not deep enough to ruin the door function. Deep enough to ruin the paint job he would not shut up about at last month's cookout. I had taken care of that before I walked into Rocco's. Took less than 30 seconds. Key between 2 fingers, smooth pressure, one continuous pull. You'd be sick how easy it is to erase a grown man's sense of self. Chris spun back toward the bar door. He was breathing hard. His hands were fists. I stepped off my stool before he could even push back inside. I lifted my phone with the camera already recording, my voice loud enough to carry. "Hey, Chris," I said, bright and friendly. "You good, man? You seem upset. You want to calm down there, bud?" 2 tables turned and looked straight at him. The bartender looked too. "You're crazy," he said. His mouth was trembling now, fury and humiliation shaking his words. "You're out of your mind." "I'm very calm," I said. "You should leave." He left. I went back to my stool. My beer tasted better. Lauren called 12 minutes later, voice on fire. "What did you do to Chris's car?" she hissed. I took a sip. "Drive safe," I said, and hung up. That was day 2. Day 3 was where I stopped being hurt husband and became problem. You have to understand suburban politics. People think it's lawns and bake sales. It's not. It's power. It's image. It's who waves first. It's who gets called so helpful in the Facebook group and who gets called, "Does anyone know why this guy was driving slow by my house?" I weaponized that. Our subdivision HOA has a monthly community night in the clubhouse by the pool. Cookies, lukewarm coffee in a steel urn, folding chairs, everyone pretending they care about mulch contracts, real attendance, bored retirees, new parents who don't know better yet, the 3 people who run everything and act like they don't love it. Lauren told me in the morning, in that brittle voice, "We're going tonight, right? You promised we'd show face because of the pool resurfacing vote." "Absolutely," I said. By 7 p.m. that night, Lauren looked like she hadn't slept. Her eyes were rimmed red. Her mouth was pinched. She'd been texting non-stop most of the day with someone I would later confirm was Chris. He'd been sending her paragraphs like a teenager, full of things like, "I'm so sorry and I'll fix this and don't worry about Evan, he's just emotional." My favorite line was, "He's bluffing." We walked in together anyway. Appearances matter. Chris came too. He slunk in 10 minutes late in a baseball cap like that made him invisible. His face had a faint red mark on his right cheek from where I'd slapped his hand away the night before. That pleased me more than it should have. He tried to sit on the far side of the room like he was just another neighbor. I felt Lauren stiffen next to me. She was vibrating. Her knee bounced so hard, the folding chair rattled. Old Mrs. Lane from around the corner did her usual welcome and talked about pool chemicals and a raccoon that had gotten into somebody's trash and whether we should hire a different landscaping company that only uses native species, not invasives. Then she said, "Any new business?" I raised my hand. Lauren's fingers clamped around my thigh so hard it almost bruised. "Evan, please," she whispered. I smiled without looking at her. "Yeah," I said, standing up. "Just real quick." Every head turned because it's rare anyone under 50 stands up in those meetings. I put on my polite community voice. Steady, calm, helpful guy tone. "If anybody sees a matte gray Audi coupe with plates from North County driving real slow past their houses late at night, I just wanted to put it on record that it's Chris Benton, lot 14, 2 doors down from me. He's been parking in front of my place while I'm out on calls, and honestly, I didn't think anything of it until my kid mentioned feeling weird about it. So if anything ends up missing off anybody's porch, I just wanted to make sure we had a name early. That's all." The room shifted. It's subtle, the way a room moves when shame drops into it like a live wire. Heads turn, eyes go wide, mouths press thin. People who thought they knew the story tilt. Chris sat forward in his metal chair like he'd been yanked by a string. "What the hell?" he snapped. I looked at him and widened my eyes like I was so surprised to hear his voice. "Oh, hey Chris, didn't see you back there," I said cheerfully. "You can't just," he started. "I'm not accusing anybody of anything," I said, still in that friendly tone. "Just saying if anyone sees the car creeping, that's who it is. Transparency is safety, right? We all got kids." Now everyone in that room had a picture. Chris, driving slow past houses at night, making an 8-year-old feel weird. I didn't say cheating. I didn't say affair. I didn't say he was screwing my wife in a downtown loft I could walk to blindfolded now. I said, parking in front of my place while I'm out on calls. And my kid mentioned feeling weird. 2 phrases, and I had turned Chris from cool neighbor into creepy guy in under 30 seconds. That's not illegal. That's storytelling. Lauren was shaking beside me. Her nails dug crescents into my thigh under the table so hard I knew I was bleeding. She whispered between clenched teeth, "You are sick." I sat back down. "Day 3, I whispered back without looking at her. Chris started to stand up, red-faced, mouth open. People were looking at him now, not kindly. Mrs. Lane cleared her throat and said, "Way too bright." "Okay, so moving on, the budget for pool chairs." Chris sat back down like he'd been pushed. After the meeting, Lauren dragged me by the elbow into the dark corner of the clubhouse parking lot. Her face was white, then flushed, then white again. She looked like she was going to shake apart. "What are you doing?" she hissed. "What are you doing to us?" "Us," I said. The word tasted weird. "That's funny." "Evan," she said, voice breaking. "Listen to me. This is out of control. You are humiliating me. You are humiliating Chris. You are humiliating yourself. This is not you. I don't even know who you are right now." "Day 3, I said. She swallowed. Her eyes were wet. "Stop saying that." "You sleeping with him," I said, conversationally. She made a tiny, strangled sound. "This is not the place," she whispered. "No, I guess the loft was the place," I said. Her hand flew up like she was going to slap me. I watched it come. I didn't move. She stopped an inch from my face, shaking. "You're disgusting," she whispered. "I'm disgusting," I said. "Got it. You don't get to turn this on me," she said. "You don't get to act like you're the victim here and then—" "You put our son in his car," I said quietly. She blinked. That hadn't been on her flowchart. What? She said. You put my kid, I said, in that man's car. You drove him around this neighborhood with him, at night. Her mouth opened. You are not saying my kid like he's only yours, she said, voice gone icy. Do not ever say that again. Tyson is my son. Do you understand me? You will never take Tyson from me. That right there was the first honest sentence out of her mouth since 9:17 p.m. the night before. I went still all at once. Everything in me lined up like a laser sight. Oh, I said softly. So, that's the game board. She realized what she'd said too late. I watched it hit her face. I watched panic bloom behind her eyes. She took half a step back. I didn't mean... You just told me your plan, I said. My voice felt like it was coming from outside me. Calm, almost gentle. Thanks for that. She shook her head hard, hair coming loose from the bun. You are twisting. I'm documenting, I said. She swallowed hard and turned away. You need help, she whispered. You actually need help. You are scaring me. Then she walked fast to her Lexus and got in and slammed the door. I watched her taillights bleed out of the lot, and then I watched Chris in my periphery, hovering by his Audi like a kicked dog, trying to see if she was going to look at him, talk to him, something. She didn't even turn her head. He stood there like a porch light left on for someone who didn't come home. He saw me watching, and I smiled at him. I raised 3 fingers and curled them down one by one. Day 3. He got in his car and left. That night, after I tucked Tyson in and listened to him talk, half asleep, about a science project with marshmallows and toothpicks, I sat on the couch in the dark and made calls. Not to cops, not to friends. I called a custody lawyer. It was 9:40 p.m. She answered anyway. Either she's hungry for business, or she heard the tone in my voice when I left the message and knew this was a live one. Her name was Ashley. She didn't sound warm. I liked that. I told her the basics. My wife is having an ongoing affair. She's been putting our 8-year-old son around unrelated adult men without telling me. She's lying about her whereabouts. She's planning an exit and threatened to keep my kid. I am not violent. I have not touched anybody. I have documentation. What do I do right now? She said, document everything. Stay calm. Do not threaten in writing. Do not hit anyone. Do not key any more cars. That last one was hypothetical, I said. Sure, she said. Tomorrow morning I'll file for an emergency mediation request for temporary custody schedule if you want. What's that in English? I said. It means, she said, we ask for a fast meeting with a court mediator to set a temporary schedule so you don't get ambushed by her filing first. We frame you as stability, and her as chaotic. Judges like stability. Good, I said. And Evan, she said. Yeah. If you're telling me the truth, she said, and she really is introducing the child to affair partners already, and she's leaving him overnight in undisclosed locations, and you can say that with a straight face in a conference room, then you're not the underdog here. You just think you are because she made you feel small. I sat with that. Okay, I said after a second. One more thing, she said. Whatever happens, do not let them paint you as aggressive. That is how you lose custody. You stay calm no matter what. I don't care if she spits in your face. I don't care if the boyfriend calls you names. Smile, nod, walk away. Got it? Got it, I said. Good, she said. We'll talk in the morning. I hung up and stared at the dark TV screen. I could see my own reflection. I looked tired and older and mean. I didn't hate that. That was day 3. Day 4 started in a parking garage that smelled like old coffee and hot rubber. I was there at 4:30 a.m. because you learn fast when you tail someone that patterns show up with boring reliability. Lauren had been hitting that loft 2 nights in a row now, and I knew her calendar said client training from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. today. She'd said it at dinner like it was nothing. Translation, 5 a.m. hookup. So, I was there at 4:30. I parked my van in the alley behind the building where delivery trucks idle in the morning like big animals. Hoodie up, ball cap down, hands in my jacket pockets, like any random maintenance guy catching a smoke before shift. My heartbeat felt normal. I felt weirdly awake, like being underwater with your eyes open. At 4:47, the side door opened and Chris came out. Alone. He was in gym shorts, a fitted long sleeve, sneakers, hair messy like he'd showered quick and finger-combed it. He looked tired and smug all at once. He stretched his neck like a guy who just put in work he was proud of. He walked toward his Audi with keys in his hand. I stepped out. I didn't run. I didn't charge. I just moved into his path with the kind of quiet, sure step that reads aggressive, even if your hands are down. He saw me and stopped like he'd been clotheslined by invisible wire. "Jesus," he whispered. His eyes went wide. "Evan, what the hell are you doing here, man?" "Morning," I said. "You can't be here," he said. He glanced around, nervous. "Dude, seriously, this is crossing a line." I smiled. "I haven't even started crossing lines." He swallowed. "I'm calling the cops," he said, but his voice had no conviction. He wasn't going to call the cops on the husband he was betraying. He'd have to explain too much. I stepped in. I didn't hit him. I didn't shove. I did something better. I backed him up against his own car with my forearm laid gentle and firm across his collarbones. Not choking, not hurting, just pinning. My body square to his. My face 6 inches from his. The way you'd pin a kid who's swinging wild. His breath hitched. "You ever put my son in your car again without telling me," I said softly. "I will take things from you that don't grow back. I'm not going to even break the skin. I'm just going to make you look different in mirrors. You understand?" His whole body shook under my arm. "You're crazy," he whispered. "Man, you're insane." "Maybe," I said. "But I'm also the dad. So listen like your life depends on it. Because I'm going to make you wish it did if you don't." His eyes were wet. Real tears. Fear tears. I watched it dawn on him that I wasn't bluffing. That I wasn't going to flail and scream like the stereotype of the jealous husband. That I was calm and cold and already had a plan, and that should scare him more than a punch. He nodded. Tiny, fast jerks. "Good," I said. Then I pulled my arm away and crouched down like I was tying my shoe. I wasn't. I popped the valve stem caps off all 4 tires of his Audi with my multi-tool. Flick, 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 flick. 4 quick turns with the core removal bit, lefty-loosey, tiny hiss, 4 sighs of air like relief. All 4 tires slumped to the rims in under 30 seconds. A slow surrender. He stared down in shock. "Dude," he breathed. "Dude, what are you doing?" "Grounding you," I said. "You're grounded. No more overnight field trips." He made a wet, choking noise. This is actually crazy." "Smile for the camera," I said, lifting my phone like I was taking a selfie and recording his red, panicked face in the yellow garage light. "Wave at the camera, Chris." He slapped my phone away. I let it hit the concrete and bounce. I didn't move. I just smiled bigger. "You just hit me," I said loudly. His face went white. "No, I didn't," he said fast. "No, dude, come on." "You just hit me," I said again, louder. My voice echoed in the garage. I glanced up at the security dome camera in the corner. In a parking garage, after sneaking around with my wife, while I'm telling you to stay away from my kid. That's not going to read great, man. He was shaking. "You are sick," he whispered hoarse. "You are sick. Lauren said you were going to act out, but this is not okay." Behind him, the side door opened. Lauren stepped out, leggings, oversized hoodie I had never seen before. Not mine. Not even my size. One of those heavy gray ones with a sports team logo from a city we don't live in. Wet hair up in a clip. No makeup. Bare face. Real face. Eyes large and scared when she saw me. "Evan," she said, breath catching. "Oh my God. What are you doing here?" "Morning," I said. "This is not, you cannot." What is this? She stammered. Her voice was shaking. Her fingers clutched the neck of the hoodie like she was cold. I smiled. You look comfortable, I said. It's not what you think, she blurted. I laughed in her face. I could not help it. It came out dark and sharp. Don't do that, she said. Don't laugh. This is serious. It's not Chris, she said then, fast, panicked, like a dam breaking. It's not Chris, Evan. Oh my God, it's not even Chris. You don't even know what you're doing. I stopped laughing. For half a second, my brain straight up blue-screened. What? I said. She swallowed and looked like she wanted to eat her own tongue. She knew she had said something she shouldn't have said, and she was already trying to pull it back into her mouth. It's not. I shouldn't have said that, she said fast, shaking her head. Just go home, please. Please, I'm begging you, just go home. We'll talk there. We'll talk. Please, Evan, please don't do this here. People know people here, please. It's not Chris, I repeated slowly. Her eyes filled. Please, she whispered. That was day 4. Day 4, 10:10 a.m., after I let Chris sit in that garage on 4 flat tires and drove back across town with Lauren's pleas still ringing in my ears like a fire alarm. I parked in a grocery store lot, closed my eyes, and did the math. It's not Chris. Then why is Chris on the lease for the loft? Why is Chris kissing my wife on my porch? Why is Chris at my HOA meeting like he's entitled to a vote? Why is Chris texting Lauren all day like a panicked intern trying to hold his job? Because, my brain said quietly, he thinks he's the guy. Because he's the cover. Because Lauren is good at lying, but not that good. And she is not stupid enough to bet her whole next life on a divorced neighbor with no real job and a car payment that looks like rent. Lauren likes nice things. Lauren likes safety. Lauren likes money. Lauren likes influence. Lauren wants Tyson in good schools and vacations that look good on social. She wants that "we made it" narrative. Chris can't give her that. Chris can give her attention and abs and favors, but not a future. Someone else can. I opened Lauren's cloned drive on my laptop in the van. I went into her texts. I did not guess her password. I didn't need to. The backup was already on the drive. You would be amazed what people back up without thinking. There he was, not saved under his name, saved under a dumb code name. Boardwalk. Cute. Boardwalk, 11:32 p.m., the night of my birthday. You were perfect. I can't stop thinking about you. I swear this is the last time we do it like this. We have to be careful now. Lauren, 11:34 p.m. I hate sneaking. I hate hiding. I hate acting like I'm 19. I hate lying to him. I hate pretending. I'm so tired, Adam. You said 2 more weeks. Boardwalk, 11:35 p.m. 2 more weeks, I promise. Once inventory is cleaned up, I can move. I just need to stabilize one thing here first, and then I'm yours. We'll be free. We'll be clean. Evan will land on his feet. He always does. He's resourceful. He'll be fine. Adam Keller. I sat back in my seat and let out a sound that was not really a laugh and not really a groan. It was something in between. It felt like air being punched out. Adam Keller is not neighbor Chris. Adam Keller is my main commercial client. Keller Outdoor Supply, chain of retail warehouse-style stores that sell lawn equipment, snowblowers, generators, contractor gear, whatever suburban men think makes them self-sufficient on Saturdays. 3 locations. He's my biggest account. He hired me originally to upgrade his camera systems after they had some shrink. I liked him. He calls me kid, even though he's only 8 years older. He brings me coffee when I'm working in his back office. He tells me I'm solid people and rare these days. He has referred 3 other businesses to me. He tells me, I'm not going anywhere. You take care of me. I take care of you. He puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. He has this way of making you feel like you're on the team. He's also married, with a lake house and a boat, and a smile that he uses like a weapon. My wife was sleeping with Adam Keller. My wife was planning her exit from our marriage with Adam Keller. Adam Keller was already including my son in his "we" with her. And Chris, idiot neighbor Chris with the Audi and the Instagram gym selfies and the constant brother talk, was the cover they used to run interference. The errand boy, the decoy, the one she could plausibly get caught with, so I'd aim my anger at the wrong man while she lined up custody with the right one. I sat in that van, and I felt something inside me go real quiet. Oh, I thought. Okay, Adam. I see you. Here's the thing about Adam. Adam thinks he's smarter than everybody in any room. That's his whole brand. He walks into a room and takes it over. He calls you kid or buddy or man before you've said hi. He never texts, he circles back. He doesn't say later, he says, we'll land that plane. Guys like Adam get promotions, respect, side deals. They get to sleep with other men's wives and still be invited to golf. Guys like me keep their cameras working. Or so Adam thought. I knew his warehouse layout down to the square inch. I knew where his cameras pointed and, better, where they didn't. I knew where he had blind spots on purpose. I knew where he stashed things he didn't want on inventory because I had installed the system for him. I knew his side hustle before he thought I did. Adam isn't stupid, but he's greedy. Greedy people get sloppy. Sloppy people get caught. He had a side cage in his main warehouse. A locked, caged corner area technically marked DOA returns. Stuff that comes in damaged or misshipped, so it gets held to credit back to the vendor. It was brand new high-ticket gear still in box, generators, top-line trimmers, a pallet of high-end chainsaws. The kind of stuff you tell your silent partner walked out the door already, so you can move it in cash later and keep the skim. We had joked about it once while I was rerunning cable in his ceiling. People confess their sins to the security guy because they think you're part of the walls. At 5 a.m., I'm pinning his side piece's decoy against an Audi. At 10:10 a.m., I'm planning to burn his house down without striking a match. That afternoon, I drove to Keller Outdoor Supply on South Ridge. I wore my work shirt. I carried a tool bag and a clipboard. I walked in like I belonged there, because I do. The girl at the front register waved me through. The back crew nodded. I went straight to Adam's office in back like I always do when I show up to check on the server rack. The beauty of being the security vendor is you can put alarms in test mode and nobody blinks. It's literally your job. You call the monitoring company. Scheduled maintenance window, South Ridge, test mode for zones 4 through 9 from 12 hours to 12:30. The operator reads back, okay, test mode zones 4 through 9. You give the code. The system doesn't dial out even if those sensors trip. This is how you change motion sensors without having cops show up every 5 minutes. So I did that. I put zones 4 through 9 in test mode. Zones 4 through 9 cover the back hallway, Adam's office, and the DOA cage. Then I walked into the DOA cage. I didn't steal anything. You hear me? I did not remove a single item. I didn't cut a lock. I didn't touch a pallet. I just did what I do for a living. I documented. Video of the cage. Video of the pallet labels. Video of the handwritten notes Adam had stuck on boxes with Sharpie like Mark for promo and Hold for BK and KM Pickup Friday. I knew his partner's initials. I knew his delivery driver's first name. I knew which ones would look bad and to who. Then I set my phone on a shelf, propped by a wrench, angled at Adam's office doorway. And I waited. He looked like a man who'd been yelled at by his wife and his mistress before lunch. He didn't see me in the cage. He went straight into his office and slammed the door. I walked out. I knocked once like I'm polite. Then I let myself in without waiting. Evan, he said, startled. Then his face shifted to that paternal smile. Kid, what's up? You can't just walk in here like that. I'm in the middle of... We're past small talk, I said. His eyebrows went up. Excuse me? You and Lauren stop now, I said. My voice didn't shake. I didn't yell. I said it like I was confirming a delivery time. You tell her today, not tomorrow, today. You look her in the eye, and you tell her she is too much drama, she's risking everything, and you can't be a part of it. You tell her she's on her own. Then you send me a termination letter for my contract here that includes a breach fee of 5 figures by Friday at noon. That will be my severance package. Then you and I never speak again except when my lawyer emails yours." He stared at me, then laughed. "Wow," he said. "You practiced that in the mirror, kid?" "I'm not your kid," I said. He snorted. "You come into my shop and demand a payout and tell me who I can or can't see, and you think I'm just gonna—" "You are going to," I said, "because if you don't, I'm going to educate a few people." He leaned back in his chair and laced his fingers behind his head like he was in a commercial. "Educate who?" "Your wife," I said, "with a little care package I'm putting in the mail with stills from your warehouse cameras of you and Lauren in this office at 10:40 p.m. last Thursday. Her sitting on your lap, your hands places that would get flagged by HR if there was HR back here, and based on your texts, I'm guessing your wife still thinks you were at a vendor dinner that night." He sat up real fast. His throat worked. "You don't have— Zone 7 camera has a clean angle through your blinds when the door is cracked," I said. "You always forget to close that door, Adam. You talk about operational discipline like you're Navy SEAL Team 6, and then you leave your door 3 inches open while you grab handfuls of my wife's hair and tell her she's perfect." His mouth opened and closed. "And after I educate your wife," I said, "I'm going to educate Dana." That hit. Dana is his silent partner. She is the money. She is also, by the way, absolutely not dumb. She has eyes like a hawk and a smile like a paper cut. She thinks he's sloppy. She's right. "What about Dana?" he said. He tried to make it sound casual and failed. "I'm going to send her real-time walkthrough video of your DOA cage from this morning," I said, "with a spreadsheet of those serial numbers cross-referenced against the sales logs for the last 60 days. I'm pretty sure KM Pickup Friday will interest her. I know KM isn't any of your actual employees. I know it's the subcontract guy who delivers cash when you sell units out the back door and pretend they're damaged returns. I think Dana will enjoy knowing you've been shaving off the top while you lecture her about tightening margins. I think she'll enjoy it so much she'll probably walk into your next meeting with printouts, ask why she wasn't getting her cut, and maybe threaten you with legal words you don't even know yet." Adam's face had gone a dull gray under his tan. "You wouldn't," he said quietly. "I would," I said. "And I will, unless you do what I said." "This is blackmail," he said. "Call it what you want," I said. "I call it onboarding you to consequences." We stared at each other. He swallowed. His jaw worked. His eyes flicked to the corner of his desk where his phone sat screen up. He wasn't texting anybody. He was calculating. Guys like Adam are always calculating. He was doing math: wife, partner, money, image, Lauren, me, custody optics, future, risk. "You think this gets you custody?" he said finally. "You think this makes a judge love you? This makes you look crazy, Evan. You're acting like a psycho. You are burning your own house down." "I don't need a judge to love me," I said. "I just need her to look unstable and you to look like a threat to my kid. You already gave me the first part. Thank you for that. I'll handle the second." His eyes narrowed. "You're not getting Tyson," he said. "You know that, right? Lauren's the mother. Courts don't split kids from their mothers unless something serious is happening. You're dreaming, kid." "You shouldn't say my son's name," I said. We stared at each other another long, slow 10 seconds. Then Adam let out a long breath through his nose. "Fine," he muttered. He rubbed his face like he had a headache. "Fine. You want to play hardball? Fine. I'll make a call. I'll make it clean. I'll tell her it's too messy and I can't be around the drama. And I'll have accounting cut you a check for termination. Happy?" "Ecstatic," I said. "But if you ever show up here like this again," he said, voice low and mean now, "I'll bury you. Do you understand me? I'll bury your name in this town so deep nobody hires you to change a light bulb. I will salt the earth under you. Don't think I can't. I've been here a long time, Evan. I have friends. I have reach. You are a guy in a van." "Noted," I said. I smiled. Then I stepped in, close enough that he had to lean back in his chair, and I bent down so we were eye level. "And if you ever take my son's name in your mouth again, or you ever get in a car with him, or you ever stand within 6 feet of him," I said quietly, "I will make sure every cop in this county hears a detailed story about how you and Lauren like to sneak 8-year-olds into a downtown loft at midnight while you two hook up. And I will tell it loud and slow in the school pickup line so every mom with a Facebook account can post it in all caps before dinner. You will not be able to wave at a playground for the rest of your life without somebody dialing 911. Understand?" He went pale. "Good," I said. I stood back up. I looked into the corner of the office where my phone was propped recording. The red light blinked. Adam followed my gaze and saw it. His throat bobbed. "You son of a—" He started in a whisper. "Watch the language," I said brightly. "We're in a family business." Then I walked out.